Hey guys, I'm here with Kmac. Kmac's a professional Madden player. He is the two-time runner-up for Arizona Cardinals Club Series, and he's been dominating the MUT leaderboards. 110-1, 50-game win streak, number one on the leaderboard. Kmac, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so obviously we talked about the success, and you're a professional Madden player. How are you dominating those Madden Ultimate Team ladders?
Yeah, so I think one thing kind of sticks out with the way I've been playing this year. And if you look at the detailed statistics on the leaderboard, you'll see that I, by far and away, have the least amount of points allowed. And a lot of that is thanks to the 5-2, bringing pressure and playing great run defense. And then also quarters for allowing me to play really good passing defense in passing situations.
So you can play both coverage and bring pressure, as well as you have options to stop the run. You can pretty much stop, really everything you're going to see. Is that correct?
Yeah, by alternating between the two of them, it gives me a lot of flexibility. And it really confuses my opponents by giving them different looks.
And you're not just always sending pressure, right? I know that's a big part of the scheme, but you're playing coverage a lot as well, right? Like you're mixing between the two. You never have a clue whether you're going to blitz, right?
Yeah, I like to keep my opponents guessing, and by doing so, it puts them in awkward situations, and it allows you to dictate the tempo of the game.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna come out in gun bunch right here, and I'm gonna max protect, and I want to see if you can scream at me out of a max protect in bunch, and what you're gonna do in this situation. Just a preview for the people. So I'm max protected. I want to see if you can come in here with this defense. See if we get anything open. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, no, that's going to hum in. That's a max protect gun bunch, one of the best pass protection formations in the game. And you can play coverage out of that with the same look, right? The exact same look.
Yeah, so last year I wasn't able to do this as much just because there wasn't great passing pressure in the game. But this year there's a big improvement in that area. So by bluff blitzing and setting up to make it look like a blitz, you can actually play good coverage at the same time and still get a decent amount of pressure.
Interesting. That's good to hear. Well, the entire scheme, guys, if you're watching this, is going to be accessible for Hot Route members only, or you can purchase the individual scheme, but all Hot Route members, either yearly or monthly, receive access to this scheme as well as every other pro scheme and tip on the website. You also receive access to the Inner Circle Facebook group where we will have professionals like Kmac or Chaos, Spoto, Don't Care About Ice. The entire Hot Route team will be in there answering questions if you have anything regarding the ebook. So make sure you consider becoming a member if you want to win more online games.
Okay, so personnel for 5-2, the only thing that super matters for you is the outside ends. And this is why the Browns are so important. They allow you to do 5-2 and quarters 3 deep well. So I want Myles Garrett on the left side. The left side will come in, so you want speed there, and he's at 84, which is solid. But it's not going to come in as much as the right side, so you don't want as much speed there. You want your highest speed guy to be on the right of screen. So I use Avery here. He's 86 speed, so he's going to be screaming at the quarterback when he does come in. So that's who I have on the other side. The 3 DTs in the middle, they don't really matter as much. Just use your 3 best D linemen. You could put Vernon in here if you wanted. I probably would. You have whoever you want here really, because they're not going to come in a lot, and they're just there to blow up the run. But it's 5-2, so since you have 5 D linemen, it's going to stop the run really well anyway. So this is the least important position in the entire defense. At linebacker, you just want to use speed. These guys will be coming in as well, along with the ends. So you just want speed there. I have 86 speed Taylor, and I believe 85 speed Kirksey. So those two guys are the other fastest linebackers on the team. You're going to be blitzing them, so speed is the only thing that matters for them, and they're going to be coming in there. At corner, you obviously want some hip power because you're sending a lot of pressure, so people are going to have to take their flats. However, it's also very important that they can be manned up, because this year especially you're going to be manning up a lot of people from this defense. It's a very aggressive defense where you're going to be manning people up all over the field and then just trying to make a quick play on them. So Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward will have to do. They're not the highest hit power guys. Obviously, if you're in MUT, you can get like a Night Train Lane or a Mel Blunt, or you could just have a really good manning safety that has high speed. But this is reg, so you just have to make do with what you have. So Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward will do. At safety, you have Thomas and Gaines. You don't have to use them if you wanted to go speed at safety for user and with like a little bit more hip power and tackling ability. You could go Murray and Redwine. I'll show you here. You have Murray here and Redwine. But I like speed, and I like to just run them all with my users. These are your users, so I have 93 speed Thomas and 92 speed Gaines. I'll leave that up to you guys. I personally would rather have the speed, especially because everyone can kind of hit, stick, and tackle this year, it feels like. For the audibles for 5-2, the only two that really matter is fire zone 2 and pinch. Those are your blitzing defenses, and that's what you're going to be in 90% of the time. So those are the ones that really matter. If you want cover 2 and cover 3 in there, go ahead. You guys can kind of figure out what you want for those last two. You can put in cover 1, whatever, engage 8, and have fun with it. But whatever it is, that's 5-2. Here's quarters 3 deep. So for the personnel for that, this is a shed defense. You're going to be sending 3 a lot, so you need a great pass rusher. Another reason why the Browns are so perfect, because you have Myles Garrett, who's a great edge rusher. He's going to get after the quarterback a lot. And at DT, you just want a beefy guy to help you stop the run. Sheldon Richardson's perfect for that. It's a quarters defense, so you're going to be able to get ran on when somebody's in the 3 wide receiver set. Inside zone, base, stuff like that. You want a good DT to help blow that up for you. Then you have Olivier Vernon, another great pass rusher to put alongside Myles Garrett. For the user, I just have Redwine, 90 speed guy. This is just whoever you're going to use her, so just the fastest guy you can get there. You can get a safety and linebacker in this, so Redwine's a perfect fit. So I use him there. And then your slot corners. This is by far the most important position on the quarters defense. You're going to be manning these guys up on posts. You're going to be manning up on corners. These are easily the most important things that you can do with these guys. So you want your best corners there, 100%. So I have 95 speed Denzel Ward and 93 speed Greedy Williams. These guys will make a ton of plays for you, and they're perfect for you. Outside, I have my safeties. You guys can put corners here if you want. I like hit power, and we're going to be giving up the flats a lot just because when we're playing coverage, we're going to take almost anything else away, give them the flats and hit power, right? So you want hit power to knock those guys down. And you guys want good zones, so when they do take the flats, you can blow them up for a shorter game. So that's why I have safeties there. If you guys want corners there to man them up more, maybe you guys like to play more man-to-man, you can switch this personnel around a little bit. Then the safety, this is the least important position for quarters. If you're in mud, obviously just go get the best safeties you can get. High-speed guys, even if you want to man them or whatever. But for regs, you have to use whoever's on the roster, right? So I have 93 speed Thomas, 92 speed Gaines, and 89 speed Murray. You guys can feel free to change it up, but these are the guys that I have there. You can man them up. They're good enough to be manned, and they're fast enough that if you click on, they'll be able to make a play for you. That's all that really matters for the safeties. Outside of that, they're not going to do a ton in this defense. So that's the personnel, and finally, we'll just go through the audibles of quarters 3 deep. Cover 2 sync. You have to have it in there because against certain defenses, you're going to want to be in cover 2. And since it's a weird defense, it's quarters 3 deep. There's technically 3 safeties back there, I guess. So you can't turn them into a cover 2. You can't just put them in a deep half and create your own shell the way you normally would with a normal defense. So if you want to go to cover 2, you need cover 2 sync in the audibles, and you can audible to it to create that shell. Then you have cover 3, which is your base defense, and then whenever you want to blitz, which is sparingly in quarters, you have 3 deep blitz. So those are the 3 that you want in there. You can have whatever you want in the man up 3 deep slot. You can put in prevent, maybe for the end of the game, I guess. If you want to blitz your safeties with all 3 seam, I don't know. Whatever you guys want to do. Maybe you want the cover 1 DB blitz. That's not a bad one to have. If I had to choose, that's probably the one I would do. Or man up 3 deep because it's like audibling to 2-man under. So one of those 2 is what I would choose, but you guys feel free to choose whatever you want in those slots. But that's it for the miscellaneous guys. I gave you guys the personnel and the audibles, and we'll jump into the real part of the ebook now. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to break down the defensive philosophy that Kmac has when it comes to playing defense in Madden 20. As far as quarters 3 deep going 5-2, if someone's a passer, you're going to come out in 3 deep. That's the thing that you should be doing. You shouldn't be in 5-2, blitzing them every single down until they show that they can dot their coverage. So I'm just going to come on in like a trips tight end set now. And we'll just jump into this, and we can start messing around with the philosophy. So early on in the game, I'd say play coverage. Make someone show that they can play. You don't know a lot of the time if the player you're playing is good, if they're bad. So you're really just going to base your philosophy on who they are. If they show that they want to pass the ball a lot, come out in this quarters 3 deep, and you can make them pass against it and see what they can do against it. Obviously, there's going to be different coverage adjustments. And I'm not going to break those down in this video. Those are going to be for the stopping the meta section as well as the base coverage adjustments videos. If you guys are looking for coverage adjustments, that's where you're going to want to be. This is really just a philosophy on how to attack somebody. So early on in the game, if they're a passer, you want to be in quarters 3 deep. Give them some coverage looks, see how they do. If they start dotting you up, that's when you start adjusting a little bit. If certain routes are killing you, maybe he's killing you with a certain corner route a lot. So maybe you man this guy up to that corner route. Maybe if it's from B or if it's from Y, whatever you want to do, man it up so that you can stop it. Now, if they're just really dotting you with a lot of like like they're getting all the time in the world, right? And they're just getting late passes. Maybe they're just broken routes or whatever they're doing. It's just they're getting too much time in the pocket, right? You're not shedding for some weird reason, even though it's a good shed defense. Maybe then you want to show blitz and actually blitz them. Now it got screwed up because they would come in, but this guy would be about right here, and maybe you want to blitz them then, and you would be in 3D blitz. Make them get the ball out quicker because they're taking too much time. You're really just going to read what your opponent is doing. The greatness about this defense, it is so versatile. You can blitz from it. You can play great coverage, and it has a cover 3 shell at the top from the safeties, but it has clouds outside like a cover 2 would be. So it's really a mixture of a cover 2 and a cover 3. It has the great part of the cover 2, which is the clouds and the flat, but then it has great coverage over the top and can't even get beat down the middle because you have a cover 3. Being able to adjust out of that shell gives you great versatility to help you guys play to your opponent. So like I said, if they're a passer, you want to be in quarters and you start out with coverage, wait to see what they're doing, and then you can go from there. If they're taking too much time in the pocket, you can go to a blitz. If they're doing well, just stay with what you're doing and stick to it and win the game. So that's it from quarters. Obviously, if they're running and they're just gashing you with the run, you might want to go to 5-2. We will be showing you guys some ways to stop the run out of this quarters 3D. And that's in the stopping the run section. If you guys want to see that, you can go there. But if that's not working and they're just really killing you with the run, that's when you're going to want to go to the 5-2. So out of the 5-2, the 5-2 is a really, really good run defense. You have 5 D linemen. That's going to do a great job against anyone that wants to tote the ball, just by itself. Now, the thing about 5-2 is it's also a very good shed defense when you send 4, spying the DT or zoning him in some way. You're going to get great edge rush angles from your defense, and you're going to be able to make a lot of plays like that. They're not going to have a ton of time in the pocket to make reads. Now, you can blitz out of 5-2. It's not quite as good as it was in Madden 19. I'm not going to sit here and act like it is. Against certain formations, especially compression, like bunch and tight offset and maybe split close, you could get in this and blitz them heavy like you could before, send 7, give them pressure. We're going to show you guys those blitzes are in this ebook. But they're not the greatest, like it's not the greatest blitz in the world. It's not like they're automatically not going to have any time anymore. So you might not want to be in this the entire game. It's mostly for run defense. And then I really like the shed defense. I'm just going to set it up quickly here. I don't need to break it down because that's in the setup section. But spying this guy here, you're going to get great edge rush pressure. So if they're toting on you, right, but you also still want to be able to stop the run and be able to get adjusty like you do out of quarters, you can go to this. You're sending 4. You still have some versatility here. Like you could man this guy up here, man this guy up here, and just worry about the backside. So you have like three receivers to worry about on the left. You can do some things with this defense. You can definitely get adjusty, but it's just not as good as quarters. It doesn't have quite the versatility, but it will be better run defense. So the whole totality of the philosophy of this defense really is, if they're in 3 wide receiver set, come out in quarters, adjust from there. If they start running too much, you can get in this 5-2. But if they're in a passing down, I would say stay in the quarters. If they're in a running situation, stay in the 5-2. And then blitz sparingly. So the quarters blitz is very solid. It will come in 5 or 6 very often. And that's 5 from the defense, not 5 from the offense. So 5 or 6, it will come in a decent amount. But then the coverage is very good as well. And then you can blitz out of 5-2, of course. If you blitz 7 versus 7, you might not come in against everything. You will against bunch and other compression sets, but not all the time against other things. So it's not a crazy blitz, but playing coverage is really good in this game right now. It'll help you guys a lot. And I think that quarters and 5-2 is perfect for that. They're both really good shed defenses with blitzes you can mix in. And that's the philosophy here, is just playing coverage, mixing in with blitzes and stopping the run out of both of them and doing a good job of locking your opponent up and keeping him in a box. That's how Kmac's been successful in Mud head-to-head. He's been able to make great adjustments from his defense with the versatility that it offers. So I think you guys can do the same if you guys just watch these videos and learn from them. Okay, before I showed you the clips of the defense having success, the shed defense coming in pretty consistently, I wanted to show you guys how to set it up. Obviously, it's written in the same exact section as this video, but I did want to show you guys it here and just let you see what it looks like and walk you through it. So it's very, very easy. The thing that's great about quarters 3 deep with the coverage defense and the blitz, it's very minimal adjustments. You don't have to really touch too many people, and you just get set up very quickly. So it's just going to be base align and show blitz for this. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to crash your line. You don't have to shift them. Now, I personally like to pull these guys down. Leave that up to you. And then For our blitz, we do hover opposite the running back for the most part. So if you wanted to hover here and like pretend like you were blitzing, or like kind of just show like the same exact look, you could do that. Don't have to. Doesn't really like matter for the shed defense. They're going to shed regardless. But you can just hover here. You can hover here if you think they're going to run. We'll go over the run defense later, but this is where you would hover. So that's the setup. Now let's jump into the clips. Okay, guys, here's the quarters 3D shed defense. This 3-man shed defense is so good. You guys are going to see it come in a ton. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because this is going to be your main passing defense. Quarters, send 3, lock everything up. You have clouds on the outside, like a cover 2 shell with 2 vertical hooks in the middle, and then you're using a 3 rec. And then you have a cover 3 shell up top. There's no other defense in the game that can give you a cover 2 shell to protect the sidelines outside, while also having a cover 3 up top to protect you from anything in like this like down the middle of the field. So it offers a lot. It offers something that many other defenses can't do. And the 5-man blitz is very solid. The 5-man is going to come home against 6 people blocked a good amount of the time. It's not going to come every single time. That's just the way Madden 20 seems to be at this moment. You're not going to get 5 people coming versus 6 and going to get a guy free every time. It's just not that way. It was like that in Madden 19 as well. So you're going to send that blitz some. It's going to work for you, but this is your bread and butter right here. Your send 3, let those guys work for you. Let your edge rushers go. I mean, you guys are seeing it. It's not just Myles Garrett in these clips. Olivier Vernon's getting free. Sheldon Richardson's gotten a couple sacks. Everyone sheds from this. You get really good angles from everybody. Like Sheldon Richardson just got an A-gap right there. It's a very good shed defense and it's going to help you guys lock a ton of people up. And then using the adjustments that we make in the base coverage adjustments and the stopping the meta sections will really help you guys to play great defense out of this and then help you guys either adjust out of your blitz or adjust out of this 3-man shed. And you guys are going to lock a ton of people up. And the run defense really, truly isn't bad when we show it to you. Before we jump into the clips of the 5-man blitz coming in successfully against 5 and 6 people block, I do want to show you guys how to set it up very quickly. It is a very quick blitz to set up because the cornerbacks come on the contains on themselves. You don't have to actually contain them and move them in like you do out of several other popular defenses like Dollar, 335, etc. So that's why it's such a good defense right now, and it's very quick to set up. So you're just going to baseline, show blitz, crash your D-line down. Now we were re-blitzing our DT. We thought that helped us have more success. It doesn't change his blitz angle. He's still on that option blitz to go either way. But we felt like it helped us be more successful, and we were holding this gap. The reason why this is so good also is it looks just like your coverage, and what Quarters 3 Deep offers that like Dollar, 335, and others don't offer is that cover 2 shell in the front lines from like the cloud flats or soft squats on the outside with potential vertical hooks, and then your user in the middle with a 3-man shell up top. So that's what's so great about this defense, and the fact that you can have your cornerbacks on contains and have a relatively successful blitz sending 5. The reason why sending 5 against 6 this year just hasn't been happening as much is it's just not successful. For the most part, defenses have to send 6 versus 6 or 7 versus 6 to get guys free. So the fact that we can send 5 versus 6 and get guys free most of the time is pretty good. But you're still going to want to play a lot of coverage. This is not an every down blitz. The coverage is very, very good this year and very prevalent, and Quarters 3D probably offers the best coverage of them all, so you have to take advantage of that when you have an option to. So we're not going to blitz every play, but this is definitely a good blitz to have and mix in, and I think you'll have success with it. So you're going to see these 5-man blitzes come in pretty consistently against the 6-man. Blocking. We're going to be blocking a running back in every single clip of these. It's going to come in different ways. You're going to see the corner scream. You're going to see the ends loop around the corners untouched and get pressure. There's 2 different ways that it comes in, but it's definitely very good blitz, and it's pretty consistent too, I'd say. Like I said before, you're not going to want to use it every single time, but it's definitely something that you definitely need to mix in, especially because to beat this coverage, you're going to want to send 5 out. You have 8 people in coverage with a great shell behind it with people that you can man up in the slot and do different things with. So they're going to want to send 5 receivers out a lot. When they start doing that, you can send this 5-man, and you're going to scream very fast at it. So you guys are seeing the different ways of screaming. We're getting the corner. We're getting the ends. And I have a clip in at the end from the Texans screaming when we were just messing around testing it, and it was pretty funny. So I just wanted to include that at the end. But you guys are seeing it's pretty successful. We're just doing it time and time again, getting our corners to come in. We didn't have a ton of success. Like it was still definitely working without the DT reblitz, but when we found this DT reblitz, that's when it really started coming in pretty much every single time without fail. So that step we feel is pretty important. If you guys want to use it, by all means, do so. If you don't want to, if you think it makes the setup take a little bit longer than you want it to, then you don't have to. Either way, reblitz that DT helped us, so we were using it, and as you see there, Myles Garrett loops around. This is the last clip, though. It was pretty funny, but the guy just came screaming off the edge, and then they couldn't pick up the ball, so it was pretty funny. But all right, guys, that's it for the 5-man blitz. Okay, guys, quickly here before we go into the clips with a successful 4-man shed defense, I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. So, base line, spread line, crash out, pinch your linebackers, and now instead of blitzing, since you're only setting the 4-man blitz, you're going to just spy this DT here. And here's the setup. Now, obviously, the written setups are still in this section, so you guys always can reference that as well. But this is what it should look like, just so you guys know you're doing it right. And now we can jump into the clips. Okay, guys, so this is the 4-man shed. I'm going to show you guys the setup here. It's just base line, spread your line, crash your line out, pinch your linebackers, and then you can spy your DT, you can vertical hook them, do whatever you want with them. You're going to be sending 4. This is the shed defense. Obviously, this is a blitzing defense. You like to send 6 and 7, but this year, the 6 and 7-man blitzes aren't quite as good as they were in 19. However, this 4-man shed is way better than it was last year, so that kind of makes up for it. So you have to actually mix in sending 4 this year. I make it look just like the blitz. I hover in the gap, and I only send 4, and you get really quick sheds. So that's another reason why you want a good pass rusher like Garrett and then Vernon on the other side. It's kind of like the quarters in that you're playing like a shed defense when you're sending 4, but it's a lot less adjusty but a lot bigger threat of the blitz. So they have to worry about you sending 7 or 6, and you just send 4, and maybe they max pro. So I mixed in a couple max pros here. Like this is bunch tight end, they're going to max pro right here. And you only send 4 at them, so you have 7 in coverage versus only 3 routes, and you're getting really quick sheds. Like a lot of the time you'll get a one-on-one with the tight end for one of your good shedding ends, or you'll just have such great coverage out there because you have 7 people versus 3 that you'll be able to do a good job. So that's pretty much the gist of this defense. You're going to want to mix in 4 versus 7, 4, 7, 4, 7. If you think they're going to send 5 out and you really want to scream, that's when you send 6. This 4-man shed, I can't stress enough, it's very important that you guys use it this year because it's not like last year where it just wouldn't do anything, and the 7's not quite as good as last year where it's going to scream every single time against Max Pro. So it's something you have to mix in. So something you're going to get used to, but you guys can see it definitely screams very fast off the edge with these sheds. So check it out. Before I jump into the clips of this blitz actually working, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So you baseline, spread your line, crash out, pinch your linebackers, blitz your linebackers, and then you're going to coverage your user. So we're only sending the 6 on this one, and then you're just going to hover on this gap on the tight end side. Usually going to be on the right side. So just hover right here. This is what it's supposed to look like. Okay, guys, so here's the 6-man blitz. I'm gonna tell you guys, you're not gonna use this a lot. It's very, very sparingly. It's really just for one scenario, and it's when you know they're gonna send 5 out. They keep sending 5 out at you, and you know you're gonna scream with the send 6, and you're gonna take their first read away and get a sack. So you see here, like I jump and take away that table route, and I get an instant sack. That's the scenario where you want to send it. You know they're gonna send 5 out, and you know you're gonna instantly scream, and you can take away that first read. Outside of that, with this defense, I'm sending 4, I'm sending 7. You have a great shed defense with 4 that you can really work with, and you have a great 7-man blitz that's going to get home a lot against a lot of different max pros, as well as definitely getting home versus 6. So, for the most part, I'm sending 4 or 7. This is a scenario where you would send 6 against that 5 receivers out, but that's why we included it. So just make sure you're using it sparingly. You're not going to use it every time. Okay guys, before we cut to the clips of actually having success with the 7-man blitz in game, I'm going to show you guys how to set it up, and as always, the setups are also written in the same section as this video. But I'm just going to walk you through it here. So base a line, spread your line, crash out, pinch your linebackers, blitz your linebackers. Now you're going to grab this safety on the ISO side and pull him down. Now you would probably just deep half this guy or man him up here. There's different adjustments you would make. If you guys want to see the adjustments that you would do from the defense, make sure you guys check out the stopping the meta section. But just to show that we're not giving up a touchdown, I'm going to man that guy up for now. And here's the setup. This is how it should look. Okay guys, so this is just me walking through the setup. The setup's base a line, spread your line, crash your line out or up, same thing. Pinch your linebackers, blitz your linebackers, grab your safety on the weak side. So if there's a trip side to the right, you're going to grab the safety on the opposite side, which would be the ISO side of the bunch with the running back side. And you're going to go to the right side, so the tight end side here. Grab your safety, take them to that gap. Now, obviously, if you guys need to write up the setups, there's that in the description with this video. This is just me kind of showing the blitz that it works against several different things. There's bunch in here, tight offset. I believe we had like a tray wide flag, something like that. So it's just showing the success of the video, and then you guys can see the write-ups for the official setups and let you guys kind of see the way it looks when it's set up so you guys know you're doing it right. There's also a picture in the description just so you guys can see that it looks right and all of that. So this is it, guys. Now, I do want to say you want to use this sparingly. Obviously, you guys see I'm deep halving the guy on the ISO receiver side. The reasoning for that is just so you guys can see that you're not giving up a one-play touchdown. You don't want to actually do that as your coverage adjustment. I have breakdowns of the coverage adjustments you would make out of this 5-2 when you are sending 7. But like I said, it's not like Madden 19. You don't want to send this every single play because it's just not quite as effective as it was. The main part of this defensive scheme is the quarters when you're going against the pass. The 5-2 is really just for the run, and then maybe if someone's in compression or just has so much time in the pocket, you need to make them make a quickly bad read. That's when you go to this. It's not your main every play defense. It's just not what it's for, guys. So don't use this every play. You're gonna give up big chunks of yards if you do that. It's to use sparingly and to stop the run. The 4-man out of this is great. It's really good shed defense. So if you want to be able to stop the run and the pass without getting too aggressive, you can always use that. But this is the 7-man in case you do want to run it, and you guys will have some success with it if you use it. Just don't use it every play and know when you're kind of calling it, and that's the philosophy. Okay, so we're going to single back here for the base coverage adjustments out of 5-2. The reason being, I personally wouldn't use 5-2 unless I was going against a single back or an I form or something of that nature. You guys can use it against bunch if they're a passer. It's very good against bunch. It screams against Max Pro bunch. But outside of that, I'm not going to be using it against much. I wouldn't use it against a spread set. I wouldn't use it against a formation where it doesn't scream against Max Pro because there's a few that it doesn't. So I'm in single back here to show you guys my base adjustments. If you wanted to blitz, you always have to do something with this guy because you're going to be using the safety. So you always have to either like deep half him or man him up or do something like that to make sure you don't give up a free touchdown. I personally, especially this year, would man him up. You're using the safety. If you think they're going to pass out of the single back, you're going to be like right here. Now, if it's a passing down, I probably wouldn't be in this. But if it's a possible that they're going to pass like a 1st and 10, you're going to hover this gap on the tight end side just like you would if it was a passer, right? Now, if I think that they're running the ball straight up, I probably would not be in fire zone 2. I probably would be in pinch. So let's reset here. Baseline, spread line, crash up, pinch linebackers, and we can do a couple things here. So we can blitz both of our linebackers, or if we really think they're going to run, we're going to man these guys up on maybe like some receivers and still use this safety. Because if they run like a stretch or something to the outside, it'll take these guys outside. But if you think they're going to run up the middle, then I would just blitz both your linebackers and then just use this guy. It really depends. You're not going to really get too adjusted from 5-2. The fact of the matter is, you're either sending 7 people and you have to make minimal adjustments and you have to take away 1 read, or you could send 4 if you think they're going to pass. But if they're really going to pass and they're not in like a single back wing tight or something, then you probably shouldn't even be in this. But if they are in like a single back trips here and you think they're going to pass from it and you want to play coverage, I'll show you guys what you can do from that. So let's go back here to let's just reset our play to fire zone. So right here, crash up, pinch our linebackers. Looks like we've been resetting so much it's screwed up our guys, so I'll just pull them in here. And now we're going to play coverage, right? So if they have a fast quarterback like Watson, I'm definitely going to spy my DT, right? Because I don't want him getting out, especially with escape artists. He's very fast. If they didn't have a fast quarterback, if they're using the Patriots or something for Tom Brady or not the Cowboys because they have Dak, but the Rams, if they had Jared Goff, who's not that fast. Maybe you want to hook curl this guy, or maybe you want to bird hook him, something like that, and then you can use the middle of the field in your mid read. Like you're on your own here, so you don't have to put yourself in the mid read, but you're using the middle. You do several things. I'll put him back in the spy here since we're playing Watson, but there's not a lot of things you can really do out of 5-2. Something else you could do is just man this guy up here and bring him down to press. But if you're in 5-2, you're pretty much just in there for run defense, and you're just trying to get after the quarterback and pretty much blitzing the whole house. So not a ton you can do from that. I do think there's one passing formation that you could really use this against, and it's bunch. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you check out the stopping the meta bunch formations. But quarters 3 deep is going to be a lot more in depth with the different things you can do from it because it's just so unique. Okay, guys, so now I'm just going to break down for you guys the base coverage adjustments at quarters 3 deep. You can do so many things from this, and let's just get rolling with it. I'm going to set up real quick. Now, first and foremost, you almost always want to put the right CB. You see how he's in the hook curl, the right slot, and a vert hook. Hook curls just aren't very good in vert hooks. They're not great either, but they're better than hook curls in my opinion. And now I'm going to show you guys what's so great about this formation. You have clouds outside and vert hooks in the middle like a cover 2. But you also have a cover 3 shell up top, so it helps you guard against corner routes. Now, you can still get corner routes open, especially with a fade, but it's a lot tighter of a throw, and you can usually click on and make a play. So I'm going to throw this here. I probably won't be able to click on and make a play simply because I don't have my because I have to switch to my second controller. But you guys will see how much tighter it is when I audible to cover 2 when you try to throw this corner route. And I don't even need to throw it. I'm just going to show you how close they are and how you can probably click on and make a play, and then I'll show you guys cover 2. Because this Jet defense be screaming, especially when Myles Garrett's rolling like that. But you see here, if I threw that, with the way pass leads are in this game, I can probably click onto this guy and knock this out and make a play. Now, if I do, who knows, but it definitely gives you an opportunity to do so. Now I'm going to show you guys cover 2. So I'll audible down into that very quickly and show you guys how much more open it is when you're in the cover 2. Because he has more responsibility, and it makes him like miss his assignment more, and he won't get to this corner route. And you see right there, and that was with a soft squat instead of a cloud. If you put soft squats out there, they'll do a better job on the corner routes. Sometimes it's just kind of random, honestly. Nothing really guards a corner route, but you guys saw how much more open it was compared to this deep blue. Imagine, don't even worry about the cloud because you can still put this, or the soft squat because you can put that with your cover 3 shell. But look how far he is. Like, that's so easy of a throw. Like, you can't even get close to that. So that's why this cover 3 with the clouds on the outside is so beneficial to you. And then here's another reason why this formation is so great. So just keep in mind, if you wanted to put that soft squat out there, you could. It's just going to be left stick to the right. So I can put that soft squat on the right if I wanted. Now, something that you could do is you could use, if you're not getting good user animations with your user, you can put this middle linebacker in a deep blue who can be a safety. You can put a safety there. So you could want whoever you want to put at safety there. Put him in a deep blue, and then you can pull up this safety and user him and get good user animations. That's something you could always do. And something else you could do here too as well is just leave him in his 3-rec, not put him in the middle of deep blue, and just watch the deep blue yourself. So if you want to see if the tight end goes on a streak, you can follow him. If you see one of these slot guys go on a streak, you can follow them. If they don't do that, then you don't even have to worry about the middle of the field, and you can just use it in the mid-read and do whatever you want with them while keeping this good 3-rec zone out there. I want to put this guy in a vert hook as well. So that's just something you guys could do. I'll put him in the deep blue for now. I don't personally do that, but just definitely an option for you. Something else you could always do is these guys in the slot play great man coverage, guys. So if they're hitting you with corner routes, with streaks, so even if you're in this shell, if you're in a curl flat corner, and say you're like fading this guy to push the deep blue back, you will be able to fit in this corner route. But this guy's going to play, like these guys in the slot play such good man-to-man that it makes it really difficult to throw these corner routes. So I'm just going to hike it here, and you guys will see. Let me stop Garrett. You guys will see. Watch him recover here. He gets beat on the corner route pretty bad, and you can still get back to this. Like, watch. So he has to give time for the deep blue to push this third back. So he can't really throw it right here on the break yet. You can still click onto this deep third. Now watch. This isn't even a great man guy. He just has some speed. Watch how much he recovers. Like, look at that. You can't throw that. Like, it might look a kind of open, but you can click on and pick that off very, very easily. And something else you could always do is this. So if you want to put this guy in a, you put the guy in the vert hook over there always. I don't think my show blitz went through. Move these guys up. You could put them over here so he gets a great press animation on him. Just move them a tick. Against bunch, they usually bump the guy automatically. You don't even have to move them. Against some things, they don't. But you can put him there and just make sure he doesn't get a good break. Go to curl flat corner here. And you're going to see, look at that. Like, he gets pressed. He got bumped by the guy guarding him, but he's literally mirrored. So if you're getting in trouble with corner routes, that's something you can always go to as well. And something else I do like to do sometimes is... So I'll shade down, put this vert hook here. I'll play hard flats, and then I'll man this guy up on the short corner route. So they're in, I could say they're in this. Yeah, this is perfect. If they're in X file, just put a streak there. Bam, just like this. A lot of the time he'll guard the corner route and let you get a good pick animation on that. So if you hike it here, like you could probably throw that there, but a lot of the time, especially if you have good corners, you can pick it off. Like if I had Denzel Ward over there instead of Greedy, let me flip it here and I can show you guys how well Denzel Ward will play. Typically, you can lock up the corner routes with good corners with a lot of speed. So show blitz here. Not sure why this guy didn't go out. It's probably just the amount of resetting I've been doing. But so just man this guy up here and then shade down. That's something you could do. And we'll just hike it here. And Denzel Ward's making that play. If you don't throw that on the break, this is the thing about corner routes this year. This is why manning them up is so good. You can low ball this on the break. This is what I do in my offense. If they man up my corner routes, I'm gonna low ball this right. Bam, there. That will be open. But now, bam, that's not open anymore. You can't throw that. Especially with Denzel Ward's speed. If you have good man corners here, you can easily just click on and undercut this thing and pick it off. That's what's so great about this manning these slots up and being able to do whatever you want. So another thing here is if you wanted to just trust your cloud to guard the short corner route, if they're doing short corner routes like that, probably wouldn't man them up. I'm mostly manning up deep corner routes like the one from bunch curl flat. The reason being is clouds don't play them. Clouds actually play these short ones like this. Like if it's one like that, I probably wouldn't even man it. You can, like people man up my stick in West Coast, but I personally wouldn't. Here's what you can do though. Whoever you send into the flat, bam, you man him up, and then you have a cloud out there in the flood concept's basically boxed. Then you have this guy that you can either man up on the tight end or man up on the flat here. So say they're hitting you with a ton of flood concepts, right? And we'll just put this tight end on an out route here, the smart routed one. So you have a flood on both sides. You have a corner flat and you have an out route flat with a drag on the backside. These are all going to be taken away because when they hike the ball, because the man-to-man's taking away the underneath stuff, and then you have the cloud flat taking away the flood concept. So let's just go to the replay here. Just a couple things you could do here. You really want to be able to play with these slot corners, do a lot of different things with them. So you're taking away the underneath while this corner route's boxed by the cloud, as well as the deep third over top. You can't possibly fit that in. Then you have your user down on this drag and on the break of this out route, while the flat's taken away by man, and then late the out route's taken away by the cloud. Just something you could do. I would honestly just say base coverages, man. This is how I start right here. 2 vert hooks, 2 clouds. You can get a ton of hit sticks in the flats this year, so I don't even mind giving up the flat half the time. Like if they throw to DeAndre Hopkins here, you can click on and just literally get rocks all day and cause a lot of fumbles and stuff. So I'm honestly giving that up early on in games, and then once I start adjusting to them, that's when I change it up. But honestly, guys, just play around with these slot corners. That's what makes these defense go. These slot corners and the clouds on the outside is really what makes this offense go. It's very, very effective. This defense go, and it's very, very effective. But that's it for the base coverages. If you guys want more specific stuff or how I like to stop stuff, check out the bunch section. I'm going to be going over West Coast, which is the most popular bunch right now, with route specialists. Okay, guys, here's going to be the stopping the run video for the 5-2. Obviously, if they're in a single back set in an I form like this, you don't want to be in quarters. You're going to want to be in 5-2. So I'm in fire zone right now. But if I knew they were running stretch, I'd probably be in pinch, or I would man these guys up if I knew they were in stretch. So like just manning it up to the whichever side they could stretch to, something like that. But if you didn't know what they were doing, they might be running up the middle, they might be doing something else. You're going to want to man this guy on the one receiver that can beat you deep on this side, and you're going to want to use this safety. And say they're going to, so I'm going to be in stretch. It's really, really good run defense. Now he ends up getting through the gap there, kind of by its own. But stretch is the one thing that's going to really hurt it. If they go to like a dive or something, so I'll show you dive very quickly. This stock way to run it is really just going to blow it up. You have 5 D-line with 2 linebackers coming through, like, you're going to blow it up. It's going to do a really good job. The only thing that really hurts this defense is stretch. It takes good vision, so I'll run it one more time and show you guys that you kind of can get beat by stretch deep. Outside of stretch, there's not really any stock runs that are going to beat this, outside of, like, maybe like a good toss, but the tosses are so slow this year that you're going to struggle. So, like, you have to find that gap, and the computer did do a good job. So when people are killing you with stretch, there's 2 things you're going to do. First, I'm going to show you the manning up the linebackers. That's not quite as effective as the cover 0, so I'll show you the cover 0 after. But if you want to man up here, and man up here, you can do that. And then if they run stretch, they're going to do a better job of pursuing. So right there, you saw the linebacker. I'll show you in the replay. Straight, like, scrape over the line. Watch this guy scrape here. He scrapes across and kind of just does a really good job of pursuing and blowing up this run. Whereas if you blitz them, so I'll blitz them now. He's just gonna shoot straight down. And that's why that opens up that gap late. Now I make the play there myself, but if you see it's gonna be stretch, you want to man the guy up. That will affect your dive defense a little bit, but it shouldn't affect it too much. So if they audible to dive here, and you man up here, it'll do a decent job against dive, but it doesn't shoot through the gap. Like as you saw there, they didn't shoot down like they did when you blitzed them. So it's kind of just a guessing game for the most part of what you think they're going to do if you're going to stay in your cover 2. If you want to stay in your cover 2, you're going to be guessing for the most part on how to stop it. So they ran stretch, they get a big gain, right? But if they run dive, that's going to get blown up. So that's the reason why I say you probably want to be in cover 0. Because cover 0 is going to give you the best of both worlds, if you will. Because if you base a line, spread your line, you blitz both linebackers, and they go to dive, they're going to shoot straight down on it, and you're going to be able to make a decent play a lot of the time, as opposed to them just scraping back. So I'll go to that one more time. We'll go to pinch. And eye close is probably the best running formation in the game. So it shoots down, and your safeties end up making the play because everyone's manned up. So that's why pinch is so good. And then when they go to stretch, the guys are still manned up, so they'll scrape across as well. So the safeties scrape across, you end up making the play. Now, something that you could do also out of the cover 2 is this. So if you knew they were going to run stretch to the strong side, right? Like you didn't think they were going to flip it, you can man up the one and blitz the other, and then watch as he scrapes across and helps you make the play over there, and he helps take up a blocker. But if they ran the dive when you're in that formation, like that's set up. So one of them's blitzing and one of them's not. The one's at least going to shoot down for you. I forgot to audible to dive. That's my fault. But one of them's going to help you blow that up while the other one's still worried about the stretch. So it kind of helps you take away both. Audible to dive. Yeah. So they shot down because I blitzed them. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't mean to hike it. Sorry. Set this back up one more time. I want to man the one up to take away the stretch. So this one's going to take away stretch, right? And then the other one's going to blitz for you. So they run dive, and it kind of helps you get like the best of both worlds and clog that lane up. But like I said, eye close is probably the best running defense. Something else you can utilize that I'm really going to talk about in the shotgun video is clicking. So if you want to be in the cover 0, right? You want to man this guy up. So you're in the cover 2, excuse me. You can click. So I'm going to show you something right here that helps you on defense. If you click the right stick, just like when they're passing the ball, when someone's passing the ball and you click the right stick, it sends the closest zone. Same thing with the run. So this deep half here is not in the run fit, and then I click the stick and he goes. So I'm going to show you what happens when I don't click the right stick. I'm just going to let him hike the ball. And he's just going to back up, back up, back up, back up, and eventually he goes for the run, and he's gone, right? But if you click the right stick, he goes right away. And you can put him wherever you want on the field. It's just going to send the closest person that's not in the run fit. So if you're in a cover 2 here, set this up quickly. If you're in a cover 2, you can check the run fits with LT, RT, and then X if the run's going left, B if it's going right. You know the safeties aren't in the run fit. So when you click the right stick, it's going to send one of the safeties, whoever's closest. So if you know they're going to be running stretch right, I might move this guy right here and then just know to click it as soon as because if I click it, I'm using this guy, it's going to just send the other guy. So hike this stretch here, send him, and he helps take up a blocker. And that leaves a guy free because a guy that's backing up towards the end zone is not going to take up a blocker. So he's either going to go in there and make a play for you, or he's just going to at least take up a blocker so someone else can come free. So if he's backing up, no one's going to block him, but I send him and he takes up Will Fuller. If this guy's back here, Will Fuller's just going to take this corner and blow him up. Instead, the corner needs to get taken by the fullback, and then even if this guy doesn't make the play, I can come over here and make this tackle for you because the fullback's not there to block me, the receiver's not there to block me. He's just taking up an extra blocker. There's only 9 people blocking, and you're sending a 10th guy at him, essentially. So if you want to combine all these things, so man this guy up here, man this guy up here, put this guy over here and get ready to send him, and they run stretch, send him. You have so many guys there to make the play, it's scary. Now, of course, he broke a couple tackles, but look how many guys we have over there. It's impossible for them to try to stop you, like to try to run on you. Because this guy scrapes over. Then you have the safety that we moved over and sent, taking out Will Fuller. So now this corner is just wide open, free. No one can touch him, and we're able to loop around, and we have like 3 guys there to make the tackle. So that's the run defense, guys. I'll go to something else here just to kind of give you a different look. But really, what you guys try to do is run it stock, and if they're going to run stretch, start manning up those linebackers. And if they're running dive, you can blitz those linebackers and you'll have success. So we'll go to this. Let's see, what do they got? Yeah, we can run these because I'm not going to be throwing this. So we'll start with slam here. Just call fire zone 2. Now, if they're running up the middle, they're going to struggle versus the 5-2 because guys are just going to be able to shoot straight down. You have 5 D linemen to block and 2 people just to come straight through on you. That makes it very difficult to work against. So let's just call it one more time here. And then we'll try the stretch. Now, I messed up. That's me. That's completely my fault. What you need to do is just have some better containment. And I can show you guys how to shoot the gap here a little bit. So if you're sending 2 guys right up the middle, don't just run. Like, watch how bad I was right here. I'm going to keep this in. Usually if I screw up, I usually cut, but I'm going to keep it in because look how bad this is. I have a guy filling this gap, and I run right into him. If I just shoot down right here, there's nowhere to go. But that's just bad by me, so don't do that. You have to play containment with this defense because you're sending 7 people at them. So right here, this is where I would shoot the gap from if I was trying to, and you'd have to man this guy up here. If I was trying to know I was going to blow up the run here, this is probably where I would try to shoot from, and you can just shoot down and make a play. I don't really have to shoot the gap out of 5-2 a ton. That's just an angle to do so. But if you really shouldn't need to, especially if your D linemen are doing their job with 5 down D linemen. But there is ways to shoot the gap, and that's why you're going to be able to stop the run up the middle. Now, stretch will give you other types of problems. Like I said before, you may have to start manning up your linebackers. But there is a way to shoot the gap down if they run right at you. And don't ever forget the right stick thing. So right here, they basically have a symmetrical set, and they can run stretch either way. So I'd probably man this guy up here and man this guy up here if I was afraid of the stretch. And then if I wanted to worry about the inside run, I would probably try to shoot the gap on it. So we'll show that after. But stretch is the one run, like I said, that will give this defense problems. But clicking the right stick, which I haven't been doing since I've joined this formation, will help you, as well as something playing around with the run fits. So the run fits here is the cover 2, so you know these guys are going to be involved. If you want to move him in and then move him out, that'll help you against stretch. So I'll run stretch here, and I'll click the right stick as well as have that guy moved in, and you're going to see it's going to do a better job against stretch. And since it's a lookie, and of course he breaks the tackle, I'm keeping that in because that was really good run D. Since it's a RPO, it does change what the guys do a lot of the time, even when you man them. So this guy's in the run fit, but since you don't run commit, he has to play him. But once he gets the ball, he'll break off. But look how open, like, there's 3 people here when you click the right stick and do all that. Like, you can easily make this play. And obviously he breaks 17 tackles, but everyone's there to make a play. So that's what you're going to have to do against stretch, pretty much. To stop stretch, you're going to want to move your safeties around. So if they run the stretch left, you can click the left stick. If they run the stretch left, you can click the stick and this guy will go. If they run right, you click the stick, this guy will go. And then if you want to move your clouds down or whatever to help shoot inside, you can do that as well. And kind of just, and then maybe if you want to man up these guys to help stretch as well, and then just try to shoot the backside gap. So if they run it inside, you can just try to shoot the gap on your own, which you're able to do and make a play on. So that's something that you could do. But that's really it for stopping the run out of 5-2, guys. It's going to stop most runs on its own. Stretch is the only one that's going to really give it problems. So you got to mess around with pinch, maybe mess around with clicking the right stick. Different things you can do, but it should help you. Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you the run defense here for quarters 3 deep. I'm going to show you the gap shoot angle as well as what you can do with this safety. So when you move the safety over here, you're going to put them on the opposite side of the running back because the runs are usually going to go from the right to the left. If the running back's on the right side, it's going to be an inside zone, a base, whatever it may be. There are 0-1 traps and counters and stuff, but people rarely ever run them, and then a draw is going to obviously go straight up the middle. So you pull the safety over to this side, and he's going to be kind of your backup. If you haven't watched the 5-2 video yet, you can send him by clicking your right stick and kind of getting him a part of the run fit. He's not normally a part of the run fit, and by clicking that right stick, it puts him in it. It's going to send the closest guy to him, and that's who it's going to be. So we're going to try to shoot this gap here. If we miss, he's kind of our backup. So we shoot down here, and we actually get it. And we click the right stick, but he wasn't needed, obviously. So I'll try to show you guys this gap shoot angle a couple more times, as well as showing you the backup run. So trying to shoot. This is about where you want to stand, a couple yards back of the corner and the end. As you see, I got through there, but I just missed by a little inch. The show blitz is still the same exact setup, just baseline show blitz, but you just stand right 2 yards in back, but like in between the end and the corner. And then 64, the left guard's going to go for the corner, and you just shoot straight down, and you make the play. Now, I don't need to show you guys over and over again how to shoot the gap. You guys get that. It's going to be the same on the both sides regardless. Now, I'm going to miss the gap on purpose, and I'm going to click this safety through and help make a play with him. Now, he actually didn't have to make the play because someone else made the tackle, but I'm going to show you it again. So that's just not even a good example. I'm trying to do it here while also not shooting the gap, so it's like weird because I'm messing it up. But okay, that was better. Now I ended up making the tackle because he took up a block though. So I'm going to show you guys him running at him, and him instead of backing up and being back here. So just imagine him being back here and backing up for no reason, as opposed to being right here. You send him, bam, he's coming in. And now look at this guy. So 74 would normally just block that cornerback right there. Instead, he blocks the safety, and if this guy got past me, we have a free guy here to make a hit, as opposed to if this guy's in the back, the corner's getting blocked by 74, and he's got all this green to work with. So I'll show you guys that one more time. Hopefully it goes like right there. Oops. So right here. And now we're gonna miss the gap again. I'm gonna send the safety. And now he took up another blocker, and you end up making a play. Now, that's not going to help you, like, literally just blow up everyone ever. That's why you still have the gap shoot angle. And if you're getting gashed, like, you can't shoot the gap, and your safety is not helping you make a play, what you can do is pinch your defense. So if you pinch your whole defense, you just do left on the D-pad and pinch them down. Excuse me, not left on the LB and down. and that'll help you pinch your whole defense. It's not doing it right now, but you see it right here, shift defense, pinch. There we go. Finally did it. So that pinches the whole defense. It pinches your line, it pinches your corners, and it also pinches your safeties. That would help too if you just can't shoot the gap for some reason, whatever the formation is. It helps bring them inside, and then you can still click the right stick and send that safety, which is what I did there. But that's the run defense out of quarters. Obviously, if you're playing a toter, you're going to want to be in 5-2, not quarters. But shotgun runs it does a pretty good job against the run, better than you would expect. Okay, guys, let's get started on how to stop gun bunch. I'm in the West Coast offense. I'm actually gonna put myself on a hash over here, but we're in West Coast, which is probably the most popular bunch format book right now. Either that or Atlanta, but I personally like West Coast. So let's set up here, put this guy in his vert hook like we usually do, and now we can start breaking down what we like to do. So what's great about this defense is we can have a third over here on the bunch side. We have a third in the middle to keep ourselves to protect on that, and then we can pretty much do whatever we want with this guy if this guy's manned up. So something we can do here is we can man up Randall. Now, I probably wouldn't man up Randall just because he's a safety and he's not great in man. But if I was in mud, I could have a really good cornerback there. However, if I'm in regs and I don't want to man him up, something I could do is just put him back in his cloud flat or hard flat on whatever and man up Grady on him. Or if we had Denzel Ward on that side, we could put Denzel Ward. Because the only flood they can really do if they don't motion him in is a curl route, and that will beat man. But if people aren't running curls on you, which most people I would expect not outside of myself, then you're going to be in good shape. Now if they motion him in, they could be on a quarter route, and I'd probably put my cloud back, but for now we can just put that out there and go from there. So keep in mind the adjustments are a little different. As you can see, I'm kind of messing up my my adjustments here. The safeties are different, so I'm actually having to learn them myself. If you adjust your safeties, like look at his adjustments, he has a bunch of different outside thirds. He has outside third left, outside third right, deep half left, middle third, deep half right. He's got a bunch of different adjustments you can do. So that's something you can know. Now, back to this. So the reason why you want to man up this guy and take him away is now you can do whatever you want with this guy. You can put him down in the yellow, in this mid read. You can cross man him here. You can do a lot with this guy because you don't have to worry about over the top. If you want to back Greedy up a little bit, if that's the one you guys got to do. If you trust this corner, you don't have to back him up, but you could do that, and then you can do whatever you want with this safety and just not even have to worry about the backside. Maybe you want to man him up on the running back, and then if he blocks the running back, he'll do something else. So I'll show you guys here. If he blocks the running back, the safety will just do a different assignment, and they usually do well. So you see here, he's just sitting in his middle zone, just kind of working around. It looked like he went to a deep quarter there. So it's just something you could do, just something you can note. Set this back up here. Now I'm gonna show you guys what I personally like to do. If you like this corner, I'd man him almost every time, and then I'd probably man this guy on the running back, and then you can do whatever you want with him. Now if you don't trust that guy, let's put him back in the hard flat. Do something else here. So something that's really great from this is being able to man up the deep corner route. So they're in Z spot here. I'm going to show you guys how Denzel Ward does a good job on Z spot here when he's manned up. He's going to get a great bump on him, bam, great press, and he's going to pretty much box him the whole way. As you guys can see, he mirrored him all the way across the field, and that's because of this great bump early on and then just having high speed. Now, Julian Edelman's probably the best route runner in the game, so if anyone's going to beat him, it's going to be Edelman. But look at that. He's just mirrored. You click on and pick that at any point if you wanted to. Step back up here, and we'll keep it rolling. Now, outside of Z-Spot, other things they have to offer is stick. So if they have the route chems, they'll probably do this route combo. They'll probably do the post. If they don't, they'll probably streak him and maybe leave him on his stock slant like this. One or the other. I'll put the post here since I'm Brady. But what you're going to do here is, what's great about this is you're going to be able to take this away with just your cloud flat. And then if you want to man up Edelman, he probably will toast him on this post because the post is very, very good. But I'll let you guys see it. But what I would probably do is if I knew stick was coming or they're killing me with that play, I'd just man up the tight end, take away that flood, or just allow the tight end to catch it because you can just get a lot of hit sticks this year. Either or if you wanted to just leave the vert hook whatever you guys want to do. So if I was going to give it the flat, I'd leave a vert hook. If I wanted to try to man up the post or try to take it away, I could do that, but I don't really trust it. Now with this backside vert hook, it's going to do a really good job with you guys. So I'm just going to hike it stock with the vert hook, and you guys are going to see it's going to be pretty good defense. If you lurk low on the post, on the flat, come back, and you can get that post over top, but for the most part, it's going to be bagged until late, and you have a really good block shit defense. So you guys can't really make a read yet. So I shoot down the tight end. You can't throw that unless you just really just want to throw like a risky read. Now I'm back here. I'm on the post. You could probably fit that drag in there, but I'm probably coming back to it. And then you could probably fit this post in late if I can't get over there. So that's going to be really good defense against that as well. This, honestly, you don't have to do a ton from this because it's just such a good stock coverage defense. And they're going to probably have to send 5 out at you. Something they might do is mesh post. So I'll set up that play here. But this is going to do a really good job against it as well. So this vert hook's going to carry with the running back, even though it gets to such a great spot. And then this vert hook's going to carry with this, stay with this hitch, and then you just have to lurk the post yourself. So watch this play. If they hike it, bam, you're there. They're on the hitch, and he can throw that hitch, but the vertical's right there to tackle him for a couple of yards. If you're really worried about it, you can completely just shade it down. So I will shade down this play and then put my clouds back. Do realize the buttons have switched in this defense, so you have to be careful when you're adjusting to not take away your deep blues. Not letting me flip the play. That's always good. But what I was going to say was, so yeah, just while it unfreezes here, the outside guys are usually B and X, but it's actually A and X, and B becomes a safety because there's 3 of them. So just something you guys would want to note before you go into this formation and just start taking away your deep blues and stuff. I'm just going to have to hike it here. Don't want to cut this because it's actually a really good film. I'm really going to have to call timeout. I don't know what's going on with it. It's not letting me do anything. There we go. Finally let me hike the ball. Sorry about that, guys. It's just me a long film. It's just really gonna it's just me showing you guys how to stop everything. So look at mesh post here. I didn't set it up correctly. Let me see here. Okay. Now if you shade down your vert hooks, it will do a better job on this hitch, and you can just take the post yourself. And let me put my clouds back, and you're good to go. So lurk down here, the hitch is taken away, the running back wheel is taken away, and the post is taken away. They're gonna have to send 5 out at you, but honestly, they're gonna have to be very crafty with their route combos. One thing that I think would be decent against this would be if you don't man up the corner route, having this and then a little flood concept on the left. But outside of that, like, there's not much you can really do against the stock coverage, and you can really start manning people up a lot. They go to verticals. The thing about what's great about this is what I was telling you guys earlier. The sidelines are taken away from like the early throw from verticals, but then it's also taken away deep from this middle third. So if you just hike verticals here, everything's pretty much taken away. You lurk here. They can maybe throw the option route, but look at like the wheel routes. They're taken away by the deep thirds. If you look at this, can't throw this early because it doesn't beat the cloud flat outside. Then you can't throw it when it gets over the cloud flat because you have this deep third here. You're lurking here. If you would shade it underneath with your vert hooks, they'd take away both the option and the hitch. So if you want to see that, something that you could do at almost every single play is putting these vert hooks, shading down, re-putting your clouds, right? So if you do that every play, any options, hitches, anything they're going to do is going to be taken away. So I'll show you guys that now. One more time here. And then just, honestly, all you have to do is lurk one route. So if they hike the ball, you just lurk out to the tight end. Everything is literally taken away. There's not a single thing open out there. So that's really good against West Coast Punch. It's just, honestly, the stock coverage and then mixing in this man up on the Z spot. I love to do that because it's going to get such a great bump on it, as well as manning up this backside. So whenever they go to Z spot, this is probably what they're going to do. It's probably going to be this. So the corner route's going to be taken away by the man. And then honestly, man-to-man's probably going to get beat by this. Man-to-man's probably going to bag this in route, especially if it's a decent corner. But honestly, that's all you have to lurk anyways. So if they hike the ball here, you're just on the in route. And he beat him on the cut early, but you had a vert hook backside. and then he got caught up to him. That's the thing about man-to-man this year. You can throw stuff on the break, especially with a low ball. Like, I could probably low ball right there, except for the fact that the vert hook's sitting right there. So he's open on this break. But then watch after he passes the vert hook, he gets bumped, and now he's like caught back up to him. If you catch that, it's gonna be no possible chance at rack, and you might even get it knocked out or a hit stick. So it's really good defense against bunch. There's not too many other adjustments I really would make out of the meta until you see what their opponent's really doing. Something else I guess they could do is stock mesh post. You see that pretty often, just right here, block the running back. And if you do man this guy backside, it's going to take away this drag well. And then if you wanted to man this guy here and hard flat the way I originally said to do it, with your actual good corner, because this is where you want your good corners to be in the slot. This is going to be completely bagged. So if they hike it here, wrong controller. You lurk down on the flat early, lurk back on the drag, goes to the hard flat, and you're on the post. So I didn't get back to my controller quick enough to lurk the flat as well as I would liked. But here's how you would guard this. I mean, if they send this out, you lurk the flat, and you want to be standing closer. So I probably should have been standing like right here. You lurk out on this flat, and then you come back, stay with the drag for just a second, giving it back to this hard flat, and then you can bounce back to this post while the vert hook comes back on this drag. Now you could probably throw this drag late. It does a really good job against man, and it's something I'm going to talk about in my West Coast ebook. But for the most part, it's pretty much boxed, and you're not going to get a big gain from it. Last thing I'm going to talk about for this bunch video is 3D blitz. So if you do want to blitz them, here's how I would do it. You would probably, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me reset, guys. Sorry. So if you baseline deep show blitz, let me just blitz this guy's for the look. Doesn't even really matter. I'd probably have this guy come up and manually press this guy right here. Then I would do whatever I want. I'd probably man him up on the running back in case he goes out, and if he doesn't, then I have him in coverage. Hover your gap here, and then you're just probably taking away the first read. Now the blitz isn't going to come in correctly because I didn't even call 3D blitz, but I just wanted to give you guys the look. So you come back here, and we get a guy actually coming in. But you guys see that. You guys see there. There's something you can mix in. Like I said, they're gonna struggle to beat you without sending 5 out, and that's when you can send your blitz at them. So if I show blitz here, and you're pretty much having the same exact look. So I bring the show blitz in, bring these guys down, man this guy here. Now I'm just taking extra time to kind of show you guys. You can do this actually very, very quickly. Then you hover down, and they're expecting you. Now you can hover this guy when you're sending 3 just to give it the same look, but they're expecting you to play coverage a lot. They're going to keep sending 5 out, and then you have a chance of screaming at them, and that's really going to be really effective for you and something you're going to do a great job of. So hope this was helpful for you guys for bunch. I'm going to actually do one on cluster and a couple other formations that are popular right now, but this was the bunch video. Okay guys, I'm going to break down how to stop the shotgun cluster. The thing about this formation that makes it really great is it has a stock play, Z-spot shake, with 2 short corner routes on it, right? That's what makes it super impressive, or not super impressive, but super annoying to stop. They pretty much just streak this guy and hike it. But so pretty much what I like to do almost every single play if I'm not blitzing it is manning up the running back in the slot right here. If you really don't care about giving up the swing route, you can probably go make a tackle if you don't get juked out or stiff-armed, and you could just probably leave this guy in his vert hook. Up to you guys, but the clouds will take away the corner route pretty well, especially with these deep thirds over the top, and then you can just worry about the flats. So if they hike the ball here, I would just have to lurk the seam and then lurk the corner route, and you're going to be pretty much a box. Now, I feel like against this formation, since they cannot block the tight end, you do have to mix in blitzing. So if you wanted to mix in 3D blitz, you could, especially because they're going to send 5 out a lot. They're going to run this play, and something you could do just to get really adjusty is leave the cloud flat out there, and probably man this. I'd probably man this guy up to the running back, and leave this guy in his outside third like this, And that way, the corner route's not going to beat you. He can't streak X and beat you, but the running back will be taken away on a quick read. And then you just lurk right here. And you're lurking the seam yourself, and you're absolutely hollering at the guy. That's the thing about Cluster is Cluster has a lot of great routes. It's got short corners. It's got good posts. But it cannot block its tight end, so you can really, really holler at it. So that's something you really need to mix in. But if I'm going to set 5 out, I'm pretty much doing either this right here or manning this guy up on the tight end. B's not bad either because they do run posts from that route, and Ward will do a good job against it. And then you can just lurk the flat for a second and lurk back. So that's something you could do. And we'll go into a different play here. We'll go into like a mesh post. That's why this B route is going to be really good for you there. Something they'll probably do is like maybe motion this guy over, streak him, and then go like double drags. This is a pretty common route combo I would think you would see. So if you man this guy up on B, like I said, you'll probably have a good play good defense. And look right there, it's an absolute bag. Like this defense is so good against Cluster, and then you can mix in the blitzes. Like look at this, guys. Look at the man-to-man defense here. Everything is completely taken away. And the only thing that you could possibly throw would be this post route on the break. And I wasn't even using her on the play because I didn't have my controller in my hand. That's where you could use her. Like you can play really good defense against Cluster. You just have to be wary of their corner routes. As soon as you're aware of their corner routes, you can be successful. So just man up this seam here, man up this running back. And when you man up the running back and he doesn't go out, you saw what happened. So I'm gonna run this again. You're going to see, that's why I like manning the running back up so much, because when they don't send him out, your man-to-man from him is very good. So right here, you see he's blocking, and the guy ends up manning to the drag. And he does a great job of man, too. It takes him 2 seconds to react and realize that the guy's not blocking, and he just quickly mans up to the drag from D-hop there. So look at this. So he's manned on the running back. The running back's blocked, bam. That's why it's so good to man at the running back too, because if they send him out on his swing, the flood concept with the corner route's bagged because the cloud flat's taking away the corner route, and then you take away the swing with the man. If he doesn't send him out, he's man up to this drag, and it makes it a tighter window. I'm lurking here, lurking. You can't throw it yet. Now you could probably throw it, but you're gonna make the tackle with the cloud flat, and you're gonna probably get like a 3, 4, 5 yard gain at the most. So I'm really a fan of that. I'm really a fan of manning up the running back on the like ISO receiver side, and I'm also a fan of manning up B because something they like to do a lot is this. So I'll just man this up on the tight end just to get him out the way. This is some people do in Cluster all the time. Bam, just throw that seam. And even with the cover 3, it's tough to guard. So if you man that up, you'll take that away and just lurk the flat yourself. That's really it for what I want to show how to guard. I mean, you guys know that verticals is going to get, it's just like bunch. It's not going to do a great job against this cover 3 because you have the cloud flat taking away the quick read, and then you have the vert hook taking away the hitch. Like, I don't know how they would want to run it maybe, but if they run it just like bunch, they run it like this. If you shade it down and put your cloud flat back like this, you're not going to have much at all open. Like, look at that. So you're going to be able to do a good job pretty much with stock defense against their verticals when they're in this quarters 3 deep. It's the stock coverage from quarters 3 deep is better than any other stock coverage in the game. But that's how to stop gun cluster. Okay, guys, let's talk about quarters 3 deep against Trips tight end. Trips tight end this year is not quite as high powered as it was last year, but it's still fairly solid, and it can definitely do some good things. Things that you always have to worry about when you see it is the crossing routes they have, and then pretty good corner routes on the backside as well. But really, the crossers and posts is what you have to mostly worry about. So, right here, I'm in X spot now. In cover 2, Xbox can literally burn it because you can you can just smoke screen this guy, and any cloud fog will get pulled down. The difference here is, though, that you have a cover 3 over the top. And I haven't made my subs here, so don't worry about like who I have personnel-wise. That I'm not following the personnel, but if you hike the ball here, you have the deep third over the top, so this corner route's not going to get nearly as open as it would against cover 2, as you see there. And then you have the seam streak for a second, but then the middle deep third takes it. So that's what's great about this cover 3, is you can have a cloud outside while also having a cover 3 over the top. So let's get back here now. Second, wrong controller. Set back up here. Yeah, you might want to move this guy out if they're on the wide side, just in case they can like fade you deep. But since you have the deep third, you shouldn't have too much to worry about. We're gonna audible into here, counter go. I don't think shot wheel this year is quite as good, but with the deep third shell, you're gonna have trouble getting it open without a fade. So if you put the fade there, you can do a good job of taking it away with man to man this year. So we have greedy right here. If you have Denzel Ward, it'll be even better. But they'll do a good job against man with the cloud and deep third back over top. And with this vert hook here, it'll help take it away. But if you want to just take away the running back instead, if like say you think they're doing a flood concept, you can take away that with the running back. And you could user that yourself as well as worrying about the backside. So I'm going to hike it here. You're going to see that that's going to do a really good job against the man. And maybe he can throw it on the break late, but that is DeAndre Hopkins, the best receiver in the game. I think he would get boxed by Denzel Ward personally. But nothing to really worry about here as far as that. If you want to worry about the crosser yourself, you could always man this guy up on the backside X and then put the outside guy in an outside quarter, as you saw there. And then you could probably just get rid of this deep third and maybe man him up on the tight end, man this guy up on the running back, taking away the flood concepts while taking away the crosser late. So I hiked it here, and I'm in X spot. That's always good. He got burned on that little out route there. Little flood concept, but I was just planning for counter go, so don't worry about that. If they were going to go for a flood concept, you'd probably want to leave your cloud. So let's streak this guy, swing route, and make sure I'm still in counter go. Yeah, okay. So we go back here. We put our deep quarter out there. Man this guy up on the running back. Man this guy up on the tight end. That's probably what I would do, because this is going to do a better job if they do a flood concept than the safety. If the backed off man is really bad against corner routes and like out routes and stuff, but press man, if they bump them really well, they can do a good job. So now I'll leave that backside vert hook in case they in route. So this would be a pretty common concept for people, is this. So what you're going to do here is if they hike it, you can lurk the crosser early, come back down here, and if they throw that crosser, your deep quarter is going to make a play on that. So let's go to the replays here. They send out their running back. He's manned, so he's boxed. You're lurking the crosser early. Like if you wanted to throw it early, you're right there. Now the vert hook's just now going to give up the in route. That's when you come back down on it. And now you can't throw this crosser because you can just easily click onto this deep quarter and make a play. Lastly, if you wanted to do this is something that if you don't want to have to worry about the crosser at all, like lurking it early or late, this is something you could do. This is something I like to do a lot. So I deep quartered the outside guy. You don't want him to back up like that. You still want him to stay down. And I manned up this guy. So now with the crosser in between and the deep quarter, you don't have to worry about that at all. And you can just worry about the backside in route. So I'm going to hike it here. And I'm in X spot again. That's always classic. But you saw there, that's what I wanted you to see. Remember how the flood concept got open on the backside when I manned up the safety? So I manned up the safety on the tight end, and he crushed him. Now I manned it up on the slot corner right next to him. And right here, that's a lot closer of a pass and a lot easier to make a play and click on. So moving on to back to counter go here, something I wanted to show you guys is taking away the crosser. This concept will work with any of the crossers. So no matter what crosser they're doing, it won't matter. Quickly here. So if they're using the B crosser a lot, you can man them up here. If you want to man up on Y instead, because they're doing shot wheel instead of counter go, you can. Now, I always like counter go more personally, but that's just me. I'll put this guy in this deep quarter here. So now I have the deep quarter outside to worry about the crosser late. I don't have to touch the crosser at all. So if they hike it, I don't have to worry about it at all. I'm just worried about the in route. And you guys saw that there. That's what I'm talking about. with the man-to-man on the crossing routes. This is why crossing routes, in my opinion, are relatively dead. Like, watch this, dude. This is DeAndre Hopkins, I'm pretty sure. If I'm not tripping. But maybe this is DeAndre Hopkins. That's Hopkins. That's why he got pressed. I'm tripping. I just saw the dreads. Don't mind me. I don't really watch football like that. Oh my gosh. I know you guys are going to spaz on me. It's all good, though. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about with the crossers being dead. Last year, if you put a guy in man on crosser, he's literally over here wide open already. Look at that. He didn't even move. And then you're just lurking the in route. And if he ever did move, you have your deep quarter out there kind of sandwiching him with the man-to-man. So that's stuff you could do against counter go. Just to go into double and sail here, another popular play if they wanted to do this. Obviously, you're pulling your deep thirds down, so the seam streak's not going to be open for long, probably just like for a slight little tick. And if you wanted to do this, you could take away the double and sail. So if I just hike it here, just have to lurk the seam read right there. Now you can't throw it anymore. The seam read's only open for a split second. So I'll show you guys that now. And keep in mind how quickly the sheds I'm getting. I mean, it's actually ridiculous. So the seam streak gets bumped here. This is where you could throw it if you wanted to throw it right there. That's why I'm lurking on it for a second. Now I'm coming back. As soon as this in route's passing my vert hook, I'm back down. And this corner route's taken away by the sandwich that is this cloud in the deep third. So the cloud's going to drop back on the corner route. It's here. It's here. Maybe you could lowball it in here tight. Maybe. But now it gets matched by the deep third late, and there's nothing you could really throw. So that's why this defense is so good. It gives you so much versatility. You can man up your slot corners. You can leave them in their vert hooks. You can really do a ton of stuff. This cover 3 with cover 2 shell on the outside really helps a lot. So hope this was helpful for you guys. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, guys, so I'm going to be breaking down compressed sets here. I'm not going to do anything particular. I'm in tight doubles on right now, which is a popular one this year. However, it's not going to be, I'm not going to do every single possible snugs formation. That would take an eternity, but you're going to be getting similar looks from all of them. So I'm in cover 2 sync. Compression's the only time you really want to use cover 2 sync. And don't mind my user, this should be red wine, but I haven't, I didn't do my sub there. But what you're going to basically do is you're going to want to deep quarter the outside guys. Here's why. The main thing about compressed sets is their ability to use corner routes to get over cloud flats very well and then push them out with streaks. So you're going to want to deep quarter them and not have to worry about them. And then what I like to do is put these guys in a deep third, right? So you can put this middle guy in a deep third, or you can put this guy in a middle third. Either one, whichever one you want to use is up to you. I personally would probably do it on the side that they want to try to bomb from, so whichever side's the wide hash. So since we're on the right hash, I'd probably put Thomas in the deep third, and then I'll put him. Probably put Gaines in a mid read. Then you can take this mid read, do different things with him. Probably even user him, to be honest. I probably would user him just because you get the spec user animations, and you're not in cover 3 where you need to be responsible for the deep blue anymore. So you could user him. Then you could take this middle guy, put him in a curl flat, put him in the hard flat, doing whatever you want to do. Maybe you just want to put him in like a hook curl, put this guy out in the hard flat. But really what you want to do is just try to take away the corner out ability that they have. So, and I probably have to put that guy in the hard flat out there. So I'll show you guys the corner out here. Like say they try to attack cover 2 here, like motion this guy out. You're going to have a deep quarter out there to really lock up that corner out, and you guys saw it was perfect. I'll go to the replay for it though. These corner routes get bagged by these outside deep quarters. Obviously you can push them back a little bit with a fade, but that's gonna be like that in any formation. But if you leave the cover 2 out there, like these routes will literally dominate you. So that's good right there from them. Let's go back to this, set this back up here. So we're in this cover 2 and we want to deep quarter the outside guys, right? Then you can decide who you want in the deep third again, and you want it on the wide hash personally. So then I put this guy in a mid read, do something else with this guy, maybe put him in a hard flat, do whatever you guys want to do. Maybe put this guy in a hard flat and you're good to play. Now if you wanted to take a guy and man him up, so like say you were getting hit in the flat because they were motioning out routes and they wanted to throw him early, you can man that guy up on the flat and take it away that way, and then put him in the hard flat. That's always something you could do. Something else you could do is man up these slots on post routes and stuff. So I think I have a decent post route from this formation. Let me see if I have it in the audibles. Don't have it here, so let me quickly get in a good post route play. You can take these. The thing about the slots, man, you gotta use them in this formation. That's the best part of quarters 3 deep is these slots. You're able to do so much with them that that you can't do in any other formation. So let me put my deep quarters out there. Put this guy in a deep third. And you probably want to move him closer to the middle of the field when you do this, just so that in case you get messed up by the seams. But so we have our setup now. But you want to man up these slots, right? So maybe you want to man up Watkins, try to take him away, and then man up Fuller. Then you have a lot of different things you can do. You can use this safety, put him out in the hard flat. If they send their running back out, then you can lurk that hard flat. Otherwise, they can't really flood the right side very well. They'd have to send out their tight end on a flat and then send out like Fuller on a corner route. It makes it a lot tougher to flood when the running back's not there, or not going out, excuse me. But you can always watch for that yourself, and you can try to take away these post routes with man-to-man. So let's just drag this guy here. Or actually, we'll do this. This is the setup we can do. Not a ton of, I don't know all the setups. I don't run this formation, but if you're getting killed by posts and stuff, you could always try to man those up and then just take away the running back yourself. I didn't do a good job using there because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing as far as taking away routes. But you could always lurk down on this running back, bam, take that away, then lurk back on this post. Drag's taken away by the hard flat on the backside, and you're in good shape. So a lot of different things you can do. Honestly, the only thing that they can really hurt you with is deep corner routes, which is why we're taking that away with deep quarters. But if they're hitting you with short corner routes, I think they do have one short corner route in here. A lot of the tight sets don't. I believe tight offset doesn't have a single short one, and split close doesn't have a single short one, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, don't quote me, but I do believe those guys don't have short corner routes. This one does from flood drive. So if they're hitting you with that, you don't always have to deep quarter your guys. You can leave the soft squats or the hard flats out there, and you just know where the short corner routes are coming from. So if they're hitting you from the wide receiver side, maybe you deep quarter the right and deep third this guy, and maybe you just leave like a cover 6 look. That's something you could always do. And just deep quarter the one side that they're hitting with the deep quarter from. So if maybe they're hitting with the deep quarter on the left side, and you're hitting like with a short corner out on the right. So maybe you want to cover 6 on this side. Let me see if I can still deep half this guy. I got rid of my deep half, but imagine this guy's in a deep half instead of a deep third, and then you have the cloud flat over here. So you can cover 6, you can cover 4, reset here to cover 2. You can do a lot of things with this defense, and then so say you cover 6 it, right? Let's cover 6 the wide side here. So you do that, middle deep third, then you have the half, and then you want to shade up, and maybe you want to take away the running back, and you kind of just have like 2 manned up guys. You're gonna take away the flat with the cloud over there from the man up. So if they say they swung their running back here, right? Let's go to I think perfect. Yeah. All right. So you have the running back taken away by the man, and then you have the corner out taken away by the cloud, and then on the left side you're gonna say like curl this guy or something, and then you can hike it, and you're here. So drag. And that was a terrible rock combo on the left, but just different things you can do because with the man-to-man, that's what I wanted to show you. So if they're hitting you with flood concepts on the right, you can cover 6 to the right and keep this cloud. Whatever side they're keeping their short corner routes on, that's where you can keep your clouds at. But if they're hitting you with deep corners, which is what, like I said, most of them are going to do, tight offset with Y out has a deep corner, split close. Those corners are usually pretty deep. You want to use the deep quarters to take them away, and you can take away the short ones with the clouds from tight doubles on. So you see this one's just box, and you man up the running back. So all you would have to do is use this backside and you would do a good job with that. So that's it for tight doubles, guys. I hope it was helpful. Utilizing your deep quarters against deep corner routes, as well as utilizing your slots from this formation to man people up and take that away, should be very useful for you guys. Okay, now I'll be showing you guys how to stop gun bunch out of 5-2. This is probably the only passing formation I personally would use 5-2 against. I'd probably still go to quarters 3 deep because I think it's better, but this is definitely something that will be effective for you. So how you're going to play is probably you're going to be using the safety and blitzing 7 a lot. You can mix in the 4, and I'll show you some adjustments out of the 4-man shed defense. But if I'm sending 7, I'm probably moving this guy up, getting a good press on him, and then I'm lurking right here, right? So I'm watching for the running back going out. If he doesn't go out, then I'm going straight to the right flat and kind of coming back across the middle. You know that ISO side's taken away, at least early in the play, because of Phillip Gaines and Greedy Williams, excuse me. And you can take away the rest early on until they get screamed at. So just holding that gap there, lurk this flat, and you're going to come in and get a sack. So what you're doing early on is really just trying to take away their first read, maybe 2, and you're going to plan on screaming at them after that, right? So when you're adjusting out of sending 7, you don't have to take away everything. You take away the first 2 reads, you're good to go. So I'd probably I'd probably leave a cloud flat out here because you can get a lot of hit sticks this year, and I can lurk that flat early myself. Now if they do send the running back out, you can easily get back to that. So I'll send the running back out here, hold this gap, and if I see him, I'm just sprinting right out there. You know if they send the running back, they're getting hollered at. They don't have a possible chance of blocking the blitz. So if they're sending the running back out, you just have to make sure you lurk that first read and you're good to go. Now if you didn't want to man this guy, you could always deep half him or deep quarter him, whatever you want to do. But if you're going to be using this guy, you have to make sure you don't give up a free touchdown. I like man this year a lot, so I'm going to be manning him up. And if you want to get super adjusty, you could probably just come out and pinch, or you could just man this guy here, and then you know the tight end's yours. So if you're in man, let's just imagine this is pinch because that's what it would be. Oh, I'm on the tight end, and you know the rest is taken away, and they're getting screamed at. Just knowing all those things, you're going to have a lot of success from it. So if I audible to pinch here, that's the way it's going to look without even having to do it. So if you know you want to man everyone up, just come out and pinch. But fire zone 2 works too, and you can just man up the backside and leave the zones out there. Either or. Now I'll show you guys some quick 4-man stuff before we get out of this, but there's not a ton you can do for it. There's not really like a million adjustments you could do just because you're sending 7. You only have 4 people to adjust, and then you have your user, so it's really just 3 people. But so if they had a slow quarterback like Brady, I'd probably put this guy in a vertical hook to the left, and then I would user this guy. So we have 2 vertical hooks on the field, and then you have your user to pretty much cover the middle deep and stuff like that. So this is the stock. You could still man this guy up and then man him up on the running back, or man Kirksey up on the running back, and do whatever you want with this guy. So maybe if you want to put him in a middle deep third, because you don't have to worry about the backside anymore because you have Greedy manned up as well as the running back. And then you can just worry about like the post routes and crossing routes coming to the opposite side. That's something you guys could do. There's really not a ton you can do because you have 5 D linemen, so you can't like get super adjusted like you can out of quarters. You have pretty much 2 less people that you're not going to be doing much with outside of spying or vertical hooking your DT. But you could do that and just take away the backside. Something I love to do against bunch is probably my favorite thing against bunch. Is just making sure you take away the backside. I don't like to ever have to user the backside. So let me show you guys that real quick. Just spy him real quick. So the backside is what I consider this ISO receiver over here on the left and this running back. So these are the 2 guys that I consider the backside. I don't want to have to user over there because you can get hit with backside drags a lot, backside slants. I like to worry about the bunch side myself. So ways you can take that away is the way I showed you. Manning this up here, manning this up here. You could do that. You could, what else could you do? You could put this guy in the vert hook left and man him up here and then use for the right. You can do a lot of stuff, guys, but whatever you do, you don't want to have to use that a lot. Obviously, if you're getting crushed on the backside, you have to go over there and use it. If they're hitting you with curls when you're doing this, you have to go back and user it. Something else you could do is if you're not worried about the running back and you can just user him when you go out, is do this. So just vert hook your safety, spy him, and then if they send the running back out, you can go lurk it yourself. And if he doesn't, then you don't even have to worry about it, because the only thing that's going to get open against the man-to-man outside of a curl is like drags and stuff early on, right in the break and in routes. So you put this hook curl there, it'll help take that away. So you can do that, but just anything to avoid having to use the backside of the formation is helpful for you. So that's it for 5-2, guys. Not a ton. I wouldn't recommend using this against bunch unless you're just absolutely getting dotted and you think you need to mix up heavy pressure from it and get away from the quarters. So that's it for 5-2. Let's go on the next one.